And welcome back to the Mass Music Morning Show. My name is Shlomo Bo. I'm joined by DJ Chris Cross, the one and only, baby. And across from the table from me, we have Mr. Dr. J, Jake Liberty.
Excited to be back.
Oh, yeah. Fresh off vacation.
Fresh off.
And we have the one, the only Mr. Jimmy from the Q.
Mr. No Days Off, Mr. No Vacation, Mr. I am here and you will hear me roar.
Love it.
We have a jam-packed show for y'all today. But Jake, how was Minnesota, dude?
Minnesota was good. You know, we were just deciding where we're going to go to really celebrate both of us being vaxxed. Me and my cousin, shout out Skoomba. And we're like, Miami, no.
Skoomba.
Mexico, no.
Love the name.
Oh, yeah, Skoomba's the guy. But we settled on Minnesota. What's more
pretty random.
Perfect. Very random. Well, we went out there to see the Celtics. I gotta be more casual here.
Yeah.
Went out there to see the Celtics. Before COVID, we were joking for a while. Let's just go someplace random, support the boys. We were gonna go to Utah, just kind of picked a name out of a hat.
Yeah.
COVID hit. We were out of it for a while, and then he got vaxxed, and then I got vaxxed, and we were like, well, we have a few weeks left in the season before the playoffs. Let's hit it. It was either there or Chicago. I'd been to Chicago before. And he said he would go to either, and so we chose Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, right.
That's the only thing I know about Minnesota. I had some friends when I did the exchange program. That's the only real pronunciation. Soda.
Soda, yeah. Oh, it wasn't like you're not walking around hearing like it too exaggerated. Like you are in Boston though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not like that accent. But it was a good time. We stayed at the Fauché. It had like a 360 roof deck looking around. We went saw the Celtics. They got the dub. Then right next door to the Target Center is Target Field. So we got tickets to the Twins game against the Athletics. And there we are in Celtics gear, like a Garnett jersey, just like I bought a big bear claw.
Yeah.
And then they won. They won actually bottom of the 8th. They were down 3-run homer to take the lead, and they shut them out in the 9th.
Did you go nuts?
We went nuts. Like, he just got caught. I was jazzed up. I fell off the escalator. I was just going like,
oh, no.
I'm jazzed up. And like, we were just standing there, and I just kind of like fell back.
Off the escalator?
No, not off. But I felt like.
Off, yeah.
I just, I was too happy. The girls behind me were laughing. We actually befriended a group of girls in front of us.
Girls?
I'll shout out. Yeah.
Chicks?
I'll shout out my friend Maddie in case she listens. She actually followed this.
Nice.
And then the Urban Products. So I'll give
Shout out to Maddie
from Minnesota. But yeah, overall, awesome time. Me and Skoomba had a hell of a time. Skoomba's his nickname.
I was gonna say earlier. I was asked, like, is his real name Skoomba? That's kind of lit.
At this point, yeah, like his friend, like his family or his friends' families know him as Skoomba.
Love it.
Like he's just Skoomba.
They got that there Mall of America, no?
Yeah,
is that the biggest mall?
Yeah, biggest mall in America.
Wow.
It's got a theme park, Nickelodeon, like Ferris wheel, 2 roller coasters, and just any restaurant you can think of.
Damn. As someone who's not a fan of malls, really, that sounds kind of lit. I wouldn't mind going there.
It was cool. They have happy hour. We get Sugar Factory, and then they give you these big goblets. They have Sugar Factories around the country. I'm sure some people have been there. But each drink is inspired by a celebrity. Like they get to go and make their own.
Yep.
I chose the Pitbull drink. It said,
hell yeah.
It said tasted or created and tasted by Pitbull. And I was like, give me this drink. Fuzzy Peach Penguin Mango or something like that.
Hell yeah.
And then Skoomba got the candy shop inspired by our boy 50 Cent. So
love it. Well,
great
now
time
that Jake
overall.
is back from vacation, we are down to business.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm happy.
back to
I'm happy you were able to flex your vax. I mean, where would I want to travel to? I'm dying to go to Puerto Rico. How about you, Chris Cross? If you can go travel anywhere right now, where would you go?
I'm going to St. Kitts and Nevis.
I love it.
Ooh.
Are you
Back
going
home,
there,
baby.
or is that if you would go?
Well, to answer Jimmy's question, if I would,
Okay,
if
gotcha.
I would travel, I would go to St. Kitts and Nevis right now.
Nice. Shlomo, if you could go anywhere to go flex your whatever, where would you go right now? You can't copy me and say Puerto Rico.
I would go, and I am going to LA for a couple days to see
Flex.
the homies, and then Hawaii to go see my boy Martin.
Well, that's fantastic, man. You spread the good word of the Mass Music Radio and the morning show and create some more fans. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Enlarge?
Large, yes.
Grow the audience, in other words. And that's what we're doing today is asking the audience the question. We have fans and listeners worldwide, actually, countrywide.
All over.
And they we went to the social media apps and said, hey, any questions, any suggestions of topics, and we have a couple. And it's crazy to me because I'd say our two biggest fans is Shimma Lims
Yep,
from Toronto, Canada.
correct.
She is fantastic, always showing love. So shout out Shimma Lims. She didn't even ask us a question though today, which I thought was kind of odd. So Shimma Lims just slacking. And then of course Michelle Ritchie, good friend of mine, graduated from Curry.
Yeah, recent graduate. Congratulations.
So shout out to our congrats. I mean that's crazy. College, you only do it once. But they both didn't ask questions, which is shocking but had to shout them out real quick, of course.
Hell yeah.
So our first question today from the audience comes from the @ name on Instagram was Everyone Loves Josiah, which I think is a great @ name.
Very nice.
Josiah asks, guys, what do you think is the biggest thing holding back the music scene aside from COVID-19 in Boston?
Ooh, in Boston specifically.
Yes.
Holding them back. Not to be clear, nothing's holding you back, man. Granted, like, there are other places in the country, New York, LA, Nashville, Atlanta, where, like, if you're an up-and-coming artist, I'd say there's more resources, and there's more infrastructure for artists. But, you know, those are also very, very big ponds, right? Boston is a big city, but it's a small pond in terms of, like, the music and entertainment. Which means, I mean, you make some great music, some great records. You have to get a great team together, and it's not easy. But like once you start making moves, I mean, the people that are really involved with like the music and entertainment and like the media side, they're always hungry, looking for those new artists to help and support. So it's hard to say that there's one thing, but I think Josiah pointed out like COVID was definitely a big factor holding people back. A lot of artists, especially in Boston, they get recognized with these local shows. I know the Good Music Showcase, shout out to QNC, they do a lot of like local music showcases where a lot of artists get to perform, get their music out there. But yeah, man, going forward, I mean, this virtual stuff, virtual concerts, virtual listening parties, you know, you gotta adapt. And I think looking forward, there's going to be a lot more artists that are using different platforms to engage with audience.
I like that answer. That's very good.
Very long-winded, but
Thorough.
No, thorough, and you hit on a lot of points. Chris Cross, what do you think?
Yeah, first of all, I think there are a lot of Boston artists that are making great music right now. I really dig the sound. One of the things I think that's holding back the scene could be actually the storytelling, and telling the story of Boston and putting it out there, which would require like more videos and stuff like that. So if you're an artist out there, continue to work on your craft, not just making great music, but also really tapping into the storytelling aspect when you talk about like videos. I see a lot of videos and people are like turning up and this and that and the other, but I don't see a lot of people actually sitting down and making like serious treatments or linking up with directors and people who are trained to actually, kind of story tell. Yep. Because there's two parts to a video, in my opinion. And, you have that part where, the camera's on the artist and they're doing their thing. They're singing or rapping or whatever it is that you do, playing an instrument. But then there is the other part of it, which is acting. And, an element of performance comes into that. And I think, that too also transcends to the stage as well. And, I think there are a lot of artists out here that, are working towards that. And, I'm really encouraged with the whole entire Boston music scene. I think, pretty soon here, we're going to see, somebody rise up and hopefully get to that mainstream level, and start, telling our story, on a larger stage. But, to get to that larger stage, you really have to incorporate all of the facets. You can't just be about just the music, just the sound. You also have to, tap into your actor bag, tap into your storyteller bag, and those types of things. So that's mainly like one or two things that I would like to see, moving forward, man. So all the young artists out there, stay encouraged, man, and keep hustling. And we're definitely keeping our eyes on you, man. We're looking to be entertained. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, that's what I would say.
And like, I don't have my finger on the pulse of the Boston music scene per se, but thankfully I follow Mass Music Radio and I follow DJ Famous Seamus on Twitter, and I end up following a lot of these artists from the Boston area. And there's a lot of like times I see people talk about like cliques, and there's no like, there's a lack of showing love. Would you guys agree with that?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that necessarily.
Like Millie's, for example, tweeted out the other day, all these people from New York are sharing his new single, I think with Dave East, if I'm not mistaken, and showing a lot of love, while meanwhile people from here
I will say
are not
this.
to be seen.
I've been involved in the music scene in Boston heavily for about a little over 3 years now. And talking to a lot, especially when I started talking to a lot of the people that were older than me, I think in years past that was a big deterrent from success, where there was a lot of haters, a lot of like lack of support. But I honestly see some of these young kids coming up, and there's just so much love and support. I mean, you look at a group like Van Buren, even Ill Addicts, where like these guys that are working, they're all from the same area, really, like in Boston, and they're working on projects. We were talking to Cleo the other night, and some of them are in the studio together. Like, there's this good energy, and I don't think that I see that, that really like that hating anymore. I feel like it's all love. I look at on my timeline on Twitter, and so many people are showing love, retweeting, supporting other artists who are artists themselves. It's like, for me, it's a good sign. I think we're kind of moving out of that old mold, and the new artists coming up, man, they're gonna be a problem. But you brought up Millie's. That's a great point, where it's like someone who is very well established, and he is dropped a record with Davies. Like, he is at that mainstream level. To hear him say that like Boston's not supporting him, it like he feels that way, which definitely sucks, man. But from our end, like, I love Millie's, bro. Like, one of my favorite rappers in the whole city.
Hell yeah,
hands down,
no question. Jake Liberty, besides the worldwide pandemic, what do you think about that question?
I kind of agree with you. Like, I hadn't really tapped into the local hip hop scene in quite some time. Thankfully to the Urban Product and Mass Music Radio, I've seen it, and from what I've learned just listening to it, it's definitely come a long way. I think a big factor you have to consider is history, though. You look at New York, you look at LA, you look at Nashville, you look at Atlanta, all these places you mentioned, they all have a very deep history of that hip hop scene. Boston does too, but not nearly to the wavelength as them, to the height that they did or still have today. But we have made those strides in the last few years. It's not, again, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
That's a great question, though. Shout out to Josiah.
Yeah, I like that question. I think like Shlomo said, there's not many factors holding it back, but it's definitely, there's a lot of room to work with and grow.
Most definitely.
And Boston venue owners too, what I'm saying, who are booking like major artists and stuff like that, promoters, they have an opportunity, not an obligation to include, artists from our city, but, they do have the opportunity to put them on bigger stages and stuff like that.
Great point.
Definitely would like to see more of that, especially if the artist could hold their own on stage, which is their own personal responsibility, is to hone your craft, so that when big artists come to the city, you can stand on the same stages with them and be just as entertaining, or at least aspire to be, on that level with them. And that in turn would gain you more experience and exposure and all that stuff that you're looking for. Their fan base is to be tapped into. But, again, artists have a lot of work to do. I'll be honest with that.
Fantastic point.
Our friend DJ Cadence, gives us our next question.
I forgot we were even asking the audience. We just got lost in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, DJ Cadence, he came by the studio, I think, a few weeks ago, and he dropped a set. So check that out on our YouTube page after you watch this video, of course. But he asks, what did you guys study in college? Are you working in that profession now? And if not, what did you learn that is helping you do what you are doing today? Now, for me personally, no, I did not go to college. I went straight to the workforce, worked the 9 to 5. That sucked ass. The pandemic came. and it opened up creative freedom for me, and I started doing mass music radio, and I get to host podcasts, and it's great. But what about you guys?
Chris, you seem.
I studied information systems, and I really didn't know what I wanted to study, and I don't use it. And that's the whole thing in a nutshell.
Hashtag
so.
college is a scam.
I was just gonna get out the way, man. So
it's about connections, the people you meet. In my opinion,
it was definitely an experience, man. But thinking back on it, man, I would have liked to possibly, think about perhaps how much I would like to be earning. You know what I'm saying? That would be something that would have helped me to choose a better major, because I want to earn six figures. But, thinking about that ahead of time and choosing my major based on, where I want to be financially, I think is a smart thing to do. So if you're out there and you're thinking about going to college, think about how much money you want to make and look at how much money people in that field make, man. Because at the end of the day, we were just talking about student loans this morning.
Oh, goodness.
And how they're just there, and, how difficult it is to kind of, take those down, especially if you're not, making in the six-figure range and stuff like that. So, that, and also, just basically, figuring out what's the best course of action, because, honestly, I just picked the easy thing, you know what I mean? Just to be fun. And honestly, I don't use it much, and it was very expensive.
This past year for college students must have been insane. Like, if you paid full tuition for online classes, you might as well just glue a dunce cap to your head, in my opinion. I definitely, when I talk to people that are going to college right now, and they're like, yeah, I took the year off, I'm like, smart man, smart woman. But you guys are some ZooMass boys, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
National champs now.
So flex that for us, Jake Liberty.
Oh, yeah.
So I studied, I actually really enjoyed what I studied at UMass, and that was the BDIC program, a bachelor's degree of individual concentration. So the way I describe it is UMass has every major under the sun, and if they don't have it, you can basically build your own. And so through that, I put it under the field of strategic communications. So I was taking classes in film and TV production, as well as marketing, advertising, a little bit of PR, journalism. It was like, by the time I decided to do it, if I wanted to do a double major, I would have had to do an extra year. I didn't want to do that with the money and time. So I did this program, and it was awesome. Got to take a lot of different classes. I always joke Jake of all trades, so it really fits on brand there. And yeah, I'm surprised. I wasn't doing what I was doing for a while. Not professionally, at least right now. Still serving, but on the side, getting back here with mass music, working with like-minded creatives, working behind the scenes with the film and TV production with the urban products. So working
making
on my
shit
own
happen.
Stuff. Yeah, it's
Hell
just.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all that. I really enjoyed what I studied, so I don't want to do all that and then go into the office jobs. It just hasn't been for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's actually awesome. Yeah. And sometimes it's like, maybe just do it. Maybe just get the 9 to 5 to get something settled. But I like the field too much and kind of the creative opportunities. So yeah, I'm in it. I'm lucky to be in it right now, and I hope to stay in it and get even further. So.
Hell yeah. I actually did not know about the BDIC program until like my junior year.
Super cool.
Because I wanted to take classes by the time I figured it out. But no, when I first got into college, Chris, same thing. I was like, I want to make money. I applied to all these schools for business, like UMass Boston, Lowell, Dartmouth, Suffolk. I was like, business. As you know, UMass Amherst Business School is very, highly competitive. I wasn't the best student, so I filled my application. I gave it to my sister. She also went to UMass, and she pretty much did the rest. I didn't think I really had a chance in hell of going. She put it down for communication studies. And so a few weeks later, a month later, I get the acceptance letter, and I'm reading it. It's like, congratulations, UMass Amherst for communication. I'm like, word? But what is that? So I'm like, all right, it seems lit. I knew I was going to live where I wanted to live. I did want to go to the school. And then the very first class I took was on radio and broadcasting, very early in my college career. And really fell in love with radio, started doing that. Now, my classwork wasn't necessarily all about music and radio and broadcasting, but a lot of my extracurriculars were. So joining the radio station, I worked for the programming council, organizing concerts. Really started to fall in love with broadcasting, And my senior year, I took a TV production class, like intro to studio producing kind of thing. So a lot of the stuff we do here today, I learned on like a very basic level in school.
But you teach yourself a lot of stuff that you are currently doing, and that's
Professor Shlomo.
hats off to you, bro.
Well, sort of. I started like for a long time. I learned just by doing trial and error. But shout out to DJ Vo because he showed me the power of learning on YouTube, bro. Learning and staying down and just figuring things out. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I started going with my gut with like what I really wanted to do, and just not being afraid to take a chance and like continuously
make it happen.
evolve.
Pop
Yeah.
the wheel, fingers snapping. Make the wheel. Next question, we go.
Love it.
Comes from Madeline Gerhardt. She asks, "Who are some of your favorite female rappers?" James in season 1 seemed to be a big fan of Meg Thee Stallion, and you're damn right I'm a big fan of Meg Thee Stallion. I love Meg.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Hot take.
thumbs down.
Hot take.
What are you, a Tory Lane stand or something?
Team
What the hell is wrong
Nikki.
with you?
Team Nikki all day.
There's
Can't like both?
Whoa,
There's
see,
beef
that's
now.
the problem.
Well, no.
That's
well,
the problem.
it depends.
with you.
Well,
why you gotta
is she asked famous rapper or famous or women rappers?
who are you? Some of your favorite female rappers?
Oh, okay. Then
And
I'll
why do you
thumbs
gotta-
up Meg Thee
And why do you got to
Stallion, sorry.
compare and tear
Well, I
down
thought it was
these
going to be
women?
favorite rapper, so I was ready to die on Team Nikki.
Meg is fantastic. She gets
As
the
I will
vibes
all
going,
day.
thighs, the butt. I am obsessed with her.
The butt.
Has nothing to do with the rap.
Well, no, just the appearance. The rapper's appearance is big, female or male, but and just her music too. Because like if
Her music does slap.
if she was not an extremely attractive woman, she was singing all this stuff. I don't think I'd feel it the same. But yeah, Meg for me. What about you guys? Favorite female rappers?
Chris actually came across a really dope female artist the other day.
Boog the Bandit.
Boog
you
the
know,
Bandit.
Rest in peace, though. You know what I mean? That's how I found out about Boog the Bandit. But if you haven't heard her music, go ahead and check it out. Sounds really good, man. I mean, I was really disappointed when I actually, took a look at her music and, found out it was actually fire. But, rest in peace, Boog the Bandit.
Absolutely. Any more?
Man, I don't necessarily listen to a ton of female rap. A lot of R&B. I know it's not really the question, but yeah, I mean, Jake pointed out like Nicki. When I think of like female rap, like
She's
early
the queen.
2000s, like well, not early, but like mid to like 2010s, like I really fucked with her heavy. Lately,
No Rico Nasty? Come on,
What
Rico
about,
Nasty.
You
Nasty's
got, you
fire.
got Rico Nasty.
Come on.
You got Tierra Whack.
Tierra.
You know what I'm
Oh, no,
saying?
Sierra.
Freestyles.
Sierra's in the house.
You got
Missy
of course,
Elliott?
Meg Thee Stallion. You got
Missy Elliott.
you got Bia coming out of Boston.
Yeah.
With some fire shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna front. I think
Thank you,
Shells
Shells
is probably
Shells.
my favorite, like
Come
out of
on
all
now.
female artists.
Yeah.
Can we say Lizzo? Is Lizzo?
Yeah.
We consider her rap.
No?
Okay.
She's more pop, I think, right?
All right. Well,
Yeah.
she's still a beast.
Yeah, she plays the flute.
Does she?
She plays the flute.
Does that not make you a rapper?
No, I'm
doesn't
not
rap.
saying that she does not rap. I'm just adding on.
City-
Josh,
she plays
she
the
plays
flute.
the flute.
All I know is City Girls are up. And all right, last question comes from Stella.
Girls are up.
She asks, and this will be a speed round because we gotta go to commercial break, and then we're coming back after the commercial break. We're talking about times we accidentally got too high, which will be probably a very funny segment. But so yes, last question comes from Stella. Guys, you're baked. And it's actually ties into the later discussion we're going to be having. You're baked. What is your go-to snack when you are fried? She asks.
I love this question. So it's either going to be some ice cream, or if I need to make a snack in a hurry and I want to grub, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Cut off the crust and call it a day.
Kind of plain.
Hey, plain. That's the most bomb snack there
I
is.
am more 65% peanut butter than and then 35% jelly. I think that's how you make
We're
it
getting
perfect.
into the nitty gritty. He was asking what kind of
Okay.
food. PB and J, baby.
Good for you. Crisscross.
Yeah, I'm pull up on Wendy's 4 for 4.
That's a good snack.
You can't beat it. You get $4. You get 4 items, and you're set.
Is that a snack or a meal though? That's more of a meal.
It's a snack, man.
That's a snack. It depends on the guy.
yeah,
but
food
like,
for four is not
I'm
bad.
If you're not fantastic like me, then
If you're not a burly brother like me and Chris,
thick
that's a
with
snack.
cues.
I go Reese's peanut butter cup, but it got to be in the freezer.
Like
in
a
the
cold, ice
freezer.
cold joint.
Yeah, like
Ooh.
All right, not
And it
bad.
has to be in the 4-pack, king size.
you
Jake,
used to get those ice cream bars, man. And
Klondike bars?
I kind of miss that. You haven't
Twix
been
joints.
shopping in a long time, my guy.
Ice
I
cream.
have- I'm
Ice
trying to get
cream's
on
a
a better-
go-to. It's
yeah.
so refreshing.
You can't have
Those
it
are
now 'cause
fire.
you're on the fitness
I know,
side.
I can't be eating those joints, but they're the Twix Twix ice
Like
cream
ice
bars.
cream bars,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
tell them because people are gonna start buying them. And I'm not gonna be in the shelves, so don't worry about it. They're bomb.
Jake,
I stick with cereal. The way I see it, you're eating and drinking. Like it's just
Facts. I
best
like
of both
cereal.
worlds. Just whatever. It's for
Which
everybody.
one?
What's your joint?
Whatever's available.
I really like Captain Crunch. Captain
Yeah.
Crunch or Lucky Charms. I think those are just like Lucky Charms to look at. It's
Yeah.
pretty dope. Fruit Loops.
I
I
smash
don't know, like,
tricks.
any of those
Yeah,
tricks,
I got
like
the tricks
Smash.
right now.
honestly,
I
anything,
got the
anything
tricks
with all
right
that
now.
sugar, I love that shit. So, ice cream too, Klondike bars or ice cream sandwiches.
Yep.
Peanut butter jelly. I thought of the Uncrustables though.
Chronic. Whoever invented Uncrustables is probably a billionaire
Yeah.
right now.
They
Yeah,
came out with some
that's gotta
new
be-
new joint Uncrustables with like hazelnut, like Nutella inside of them.
Kind of fire.
Bomb.
I'm searching for the Dunkaroos.
Oh, it's a throwback.
They brought
Wow.
them back.
BJ's.
though.
They're at BJ's.
Yo, pick me up
Dunkaroos?
some Dunkaroos.
I'm not allowed in BJ's.
Yeah, because
Why
I
not?
don't have a membership. I'm
No
not
membership.
Oh.
I ain't a member. They're gonna stop me at the door. So I beg you,
Well, we won't stop you at the door.
have some Dunkaroos.
Thank you for watching the first segment. Watch this commercial. We come back with times we accidentally got too baked. Do you remember Stone Cold Steve Austin turning on The Rock and joining alliances with Vince McMahon? Do you remember Edge cashing in the Money in the Bank? Or how about CM Punk beating John Cena in a sold-out arena in Chicago? Well, me and my best friend JQ are going to revisit these classic wrestling moments and much more in the upcoming pro wrestling podcast produced by Masters Radio, Smart Marks, baby. The monthly podcast bringing you the best of pro wrestling news and facts and opinions. Me and JQ have a lifelong friendship and we debate each other over numerous topics of action in the pro wrestling industry. Check it out, Mass Music Radio. And welcome back to the Mass Music Morning Show. A terrific commercial just there, and a great segment. Ask the audience, guys. If you're watching this right now, you want to be featured on the show, just like those people just were. We're taking questions and suggestions always, so be prepared for the next Ask the Audience segment. But this segment, this topic, we're talking about times we got accidentally too high, not on purpose. And we are here with Jackson Vo,
What's good? What's good?
aka
what's good,
DJ Vo, and Antonio Acquelli, who, you think Antonio Acquelli, not the particular person that should be on this particular topic per se, but here he is.
Good morning. I thought I was judging best tune today.
Oh no, you are here now, my friend. And of course, Crisscross, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
So guys, any good stories about times you got unexpectedly high, or are we just talking about
This
nothing?
Feels like a setup.
I am not a cop.
I know, it's
not,
QPD outside right now.
I am not a double agent.
Is Vice President Harris outside right now?
We're talking federal right
And
now.
this
I
is,
have to be careful on this one.
and how about this? We'll start off by saying all this we're talking about is hypothetical.
Hypothetically.
And it's all fiction. It's all for the entertainment. It's all for the grits and glamour. But we'll start off. Maybe who wants to start off?
I can start it off.
Chris Cross.
Yeah. When was that last
All right.
time you hypothetically got high?
Yeah, so some time ago, man. When I was in college, I was hanging out at a buddy's apartment, and it happened to be like that apartment where everybody would congregate. It was apartment number 123.
Ooh.
And we had many parties there. A lot of them got out of hand, and they couldn't be stopped. But
like most good parties do.
123 was a fun apartment, man. You would go there, you mingle with other people from the campus. So one particular afternoon, I went over to 123, and I was parched. I was very thirsty. So I headed to the kitchen, And I went to the fridge, and of course there was an assortment of drinks in the fridge, most of them being alcoholic. And I wasn't ready to get too turned up yet.
Yeah.
But just to the back of the fridge there, I saw a jug of Kool-Aid. And I thought nothing of it, man. I said, it's a fridge in the back. We're black.
You know what you thought?
There's a jug of Kool-Aid in the back, and it's good.
You know what you thought?
What?
Oh, yeah!
I mean, possibly. That may have crossed my mind, hypothetically. But, so I draw for the Kool-Aid, and I pour myself a glass, and I had some Kool-Aid, man, and I thought nothing of it.
I should have spiked, huh?
Yeah, a few minutes later, man, I started, feeling
Just
sick.
a few minutes?
You said minutes?
Yeah, just a few minutes, man. I mean,
Did you drink out of the container? Did you pour yourself a cup?
I did pour myself a glass.
Big glass?
Yeah, definitely. I poured a healthy glass of Kool-Aid. But let's keep it
Yes.
going forward. So yeah, I started feeling a bit funny, man, sick to my stomach to be precise. And I wondered. I said, man, what the and the only thing that I'd really had was the Kool-Aid. So I told my friends, I said, I'm feeling weird, man. My stomach hurts, man. I feel like sick to my stomach. And all I really had was a drink from the fridge, man. So they were like, "What'd you get?" I said, "I had some of y'all Kool-Aid." And turns out the Kool-Aid was a concoction that the fellas at 123 had whipped up, and inside of this concoction there were mushrooms, and to curb the taste of the mushroom, they added Kool-Aid to the thing and chilled it, so it would be more digestible. But so I was on a wild ride, and I didn't particularly want to be on that ride.
Because mushroom water is just grotesque. I don't know why Trader Joe's is selling it.
Oh, man.
They sell that over there?
No, just a joke.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think anybody should sell it, man. But shroom water, Shroomade. Sent me on my first ever
First
psychedelic trip.
Damn.
Where myself and somebody else too. They got somebody else too. Somebody else
They got
also drank the
someone.
Kool-Aid as well.
They got him.
Shout out to Jim Jones.
If it was a
But
that's a good reference right
we
there.
was over there at we was over there at 123 drinking the Kool-Aid, man. It was probably one of the most stressful nights of my life.
Man, they say Dogecoin to the moon, but that night it was crisscross to the moon, I guess.
It sent me pretty far.
Now, Chris, when you were allegedly hit back by it, could you hear this in your head? Boom, boom, boom. Ah, boom, 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 boom.
Honestly, I heard a lot of things, man. I did. It was I don't know if that was part of it, but dude,
It's the time of the season.
Yeah, I thought I might be dying, and honestly, I think I asked a number of times to go to the hospital, but they were like, "No, we're babysitting. You promise it's cool. It's all natural, and it'll wear off." But a couple times it got so weird that I figured, what I'm saying, my body was rejecting it, and I was heading for the worst. I was paranoid.
Yeah,
and,
glass is all natural. It doesn't mean it belongs in our bodies.
So that in turn is my story about how I unexpectedly got too high, man. I mean,
That's a doozy.
there was a giant owl outside. The trees were growing, and the bricks on our dormitory looked like cartoony. It didn't look normal. Shit wasn't normal. I don't know what world I was in, but it was something similar to what I knew, but not.
Would you
really.
ever want to go back to this world, or was that just too much?
Yeah, I've now
In hindsight,
in choosing
He's
to
dabbled,
actually
hypothetically
dabble in psychedelics,
And that's totally different.
hypothetically. I've actually had a really great experience.
And speaking of worlds, in the worlds of DJs, there's plenty of drugs and fun to be had. And I'm sitting next to a DJ. Jackson, do you have any stories that fit the topic?
I do. Probably my senior year of high school. Last time I remember getting too stoned. I'm a seasoned vet now. I don't get too stoned.
Of course.
But
back when you were but a child.
yeah. So I was first started to smoke weed senior year of high school. and I won't name him, but one of my buddies used to. Can I see that Gatorade bottle? Could you screw that? So he would used to
Yeah,
smoke
not like I'm thirsty or anything.
He used to smoke out of this thing with the Gatorade bottle. It's called like a waterfall pipe or gravity bong.
Oh yeah, I'm
So-
familiar.
Yeah, he put a hole in the top of the cap, like a metal cap.
Oh, yeah.
Like a metal little thing. Dude, it looks disgusting. First of all.
Yes.
And then he had a hole around here, and you fill up with water, and you light the weed, and you let go of the water, and as it spills out, it just fills up with
And it
smoke.
fills up with tasty, delicious milk that you then have to
Oh, dude,
inhale.
smoke would be so yellow and like thick and and my friend was like, yo, like inhale all of it and hold it as long as you can until you cough. And this is probably like my 6th time smoking overall. So not only was like it was super fucking intense, it was just super gross, dude. And I held it in for as long as I can.
Trooper.
And I fucking, dude, after I exhaled and started coughing, I remember immediately the world starts spinning. Like all the walls were spinning super fast. And I was like, holy shit. And like my friend grabbed me and I was like, yo, I need to sit down. And I'm pretty sure once I sat down, I never got off from that couch till like the next morning.
Oh, that's lit.
Like, no, it was horrible because like the world was spinning and like I had a massive headache. And obviously, I think the fucking water, the Gatorade bottle was super gross too. So it was just, I think it was just dirty high. That's how I explain
Dirty
it.
high.
A dirty high.
That
And
sounds like a good name of a
New
podcast.
single. Hey, keep it.
He's serious.
James, what about you? Have you ever been to a place that was a bit out there?
You know what, man? A few times. And I'll take it back to this. I mean, when you're dealing with homemade edibles, you got to be careful. And this is not, this is not professionals making these cookies. And it was, at the time, it was my friend Jenny and her friend Harry Ann. And they were just in the kitchen whipping up these cookies that I'm telling you, man, the consistency was like a hockey puck. And there's I think they were peanut butter cookies. And I'm a stoner, man, through and through. I be getting high on my own supply, and it's just this particular day I had smoked a blunt, no crazy occurrence there, right? Just enjoying my blunt, and then I come to find out they made cookies, and they were using this THC butter, and they're like, yeah, you eat maybe like 1 or 2, you should be fine. I ended up eating 3. I scuffed down these almost unedible cookies because I'm like, oh, it's great, like let's get super duper high and watch cartoons like a normal person would. And yes, well, no, let's not go, because I had thought my heart was going to jump out of my chest and I was going to die. I luckily did not die. I'm still here. But that's just the thing, man. Like,
it was intense.
it's all about moderation. And the same thing, I think,
Crazy how you got to stand up and stand in one spot and catch yourself.
dude, like, I really thought I was going to have to go to the hospital.
Got zapped.
Water, all that stuff. It immediately put me to bed. And it's all about moderation, man, when you're dealing with this stuff. And I take it back to my first time ever trying acid. I did the 1 tab, and it was great. I felt super high. I feel like I'd smoked like 5 blunts, which is like, okay, cool. But when you envision like doing acid, you was like, oh, I can't wait to see the Dark Magician from Yu-Gi-Oh! Start dapping me up, or Shaggy from Scooby-Doo is going to pick me up in the Mystery Machine. We're going to go to White Castle. No, it's not like that. Your senses are just like times 5, times 10. So, but then I
Tapping
foolishly...
into that new dimension.
Oh, you know it, man. You know it,
I
man.
don't know. I never did that
okay.
shit. But
Well,
And of course it wouldn't happen because Fred drives the Mystery Mobile.
Oh, of course.
That's why it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, well,
Everybody knows that.
But with my third eye wide open, and just kind of doubting, like, oh, like I'm not seeing what I envisioned I'd be seeing. I had taken a second tab, and for those out there, you're doing acid for the first time, take it easy. Just take it easy. Don't do that second tab. Don't. And same thing with edibles too. Like, people always shit talk edibles, and then what happens? You're on the couch, and your mortgage is up or something. I don't know.
Your mortgage is up.
But yeah, just my takeaway from this discussion is moderation. Be careful. I never accidentally got high or anything like that. Everything was on purpose, but a little too high in those particular days. But Tonio, what the hell are you doing in this discussion? You're about as clean as a whistle.
Well, that's a very good question, James.
Yeah.
I'm not a vagrant. I don't partake in drugs willingly.
Yeah.
And
That's what we love about you.
And I do have that. I used to have that squeaky clean image. The only interaction with marijuana I've ever had was when I voted to legalize it back in 2016.
Oh, good on you. Good on
And
you.
now Miss Mary Jane wanted to return the favor.
Oh yeah.
I was at a gathering recently, and this is a legal drug. So
Was this like a ICP Insane Clown Posse gathering? Like, where are you, what kind of gathering was this?
It was a boring networking gathering. If I'm being entirely honest,
Okay.
no one wanted to talk to me. Anyway,
A bunch of losers.
Yeah, I was kind of bored, and I wanted to leave. Shlomo and Vo were there, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna leave. And then I grabbed a bunch of like free stuff that was meant to be taken, or else it wouldn't be there.
Of course.
And I noticed on the table, the countertop, along with the chips and the business cards and the water, it's very open stuff. There were some cookies, and it's actually very interesting because I saw Shlomo eating a cupcake with the same type of pattern as the cookie, like the same design of the cookie. So I took a cookie with me, and I ate it in the car. And initially, I thought it was like gluten free because
Did it taste funny?
It was all it tasted a little like sugar. Like I thought, what is this, like a sugar cookie? Is this like half peanut butter? It was very crumbly, and then an hour.
It was delicious, huh?
It was good. It was good. I'm glad I only took one. An hour or so later, I'm on my phone just doing like important documents and stuff, and I start to get a little hazy and a little woozy. I'm like, ooh, I feel kind of
A little woozy.
I don't feel right. I go up the stairs, I splash some cold water in my face, and I never do that unless something's really wrong. And I come downstairs and I just start like,
You're bugging.
I'm walking like I'm falling through space. Like I'm going like this, and then like 5 minutes later I go, I think I got drugged. I think I might be high, and I was at home.
Poisoned.
So what may or may not have happened, Occam's razor.
Right.
We have to use Occam's razor. So either the cookie that I ate was laced with something or was an edible, or the really out there theory was all the water bottles were secretly injected with these new super roofies.
I don't know about that.
And I go, oh, that's very elaborate, so that might not be it. But throughout the night, this happened for us in this time right now. It was pretty recent, but I just remember like I was I called Shlomo. I called my best friend Kristen Condon, and she was at work, and she was like, "Wait, you're high?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, Calabunga.
I called my friend Jack, and literally right when he picked up, I just started crying. And then he goes, I literally, from what I can remember, like for me I'm the victim here. This is not what I wanted. I was effectively poisoned. Maybe Putin finally heard what I was saying about him. But I felt like, do you remember the movie Get Out?
Yes.
Like the sunken place where you're getting collusion kind of falling.
You're in
like,
a sunken place.
I feel like I'm in the sunken place. Like I feel like I'm a husk
Off one cookie, though.
of one.
That's what I was thinking.
This has never happened to me ever
It's got
before, and I
rocked.
literally
God
feel like
damn.
I remember the
Cookies was
words
lit.
leaving my mouth, but I'm like, it's just too much. I remember I called my friend Jack, just crying. I told him I feel like a failure. I'm afraid I'm never gonna have kids.
I'm so jealous hearing the story, actually.
I don't feel bad at all. I feel bad about it, but I literally feel. He's like, no, you. I go. I feel like I've been sad for a very long time, and this is now the time I have to talk about it. And then later, I had to look it up because it said, it lasts around a couple hours or so. I'm like, oh, okay. Wake up the next morning. I'm feeling pretty good. Nope, it's still a little bit there. And I'm like, oh, damn. I got to get my COVID vaccine. I got to drive to Watertown. And I was at a Target just like walking around like,
Man was hungover.
yeah, I was. And then I was fine by that night.
Living in Minecraft.
I was literally, and I wanted to take advantage because I'm like, I'm never doing this shit again.
Right.
So I'm all like, I'm going to take advantage. So I went over to grab a snack because I know you guys were talking about little munchies.
Oh, yeah.
I had I drank 3 Kool-Aid coolers, in the bottles.
Oh, yeah.
I had 3 of those, and I literally held on to it like for dear life as I was talking on the phone. And I had a one single Rice Krispie treat, and I gotta tell you,
That was probably the
They're
best.
smacking.
That was the best goddamn Rice Krispie treat you've ever had.
Maybe it was. It literally felt like, you know, when you're watching fireworks and and you see that one firework that kind of breaks off into 5,
Yeah.
and then it breaks off into 10. And they're all like little. That's how it felt.
Oh, wow.
Every single bite, I'm like, ooh, this is.
Oh no!
good.
Are you gonna become a pothead now?
Oh, I don't know. I think I might just skip straight to heroin.
Shit! God damn it!
The gate is wide open.
Wow. I mean, I don't see how we can end off on an even better note. But can you play your audio message that you recorded while you were high?
Yeah. So I recorded a message because I was going to forget. I had to. Maybe I'm still a little bit right now. I recorded a message while I was inebriated to remember how the experience was, and this is what it is. Well,
And it's fantastic.
I say some names, so we'll bleep them out. So here it is.
Hey Tony, I just want to let you know you're recording this when you're clearly high on something. I hope you do better, because you have your shot of the morning. Anyway, you have to call because she's the one who set this up and demand an apology for having the drug cookies on the table. Yeah, I'm out of it. Oh my God. I went all my life without this. Oh my God. Anyway, Tony, you have to listen to me. This is a scary feeling. Oh my God. Make sure you make it right.
and he didn't make it right.
No, I'm going to call on Monday. You don't call people with grievances on the weekends. You can't ruin people's weekends.
I respect that. That's a very. If people can gather one thing from today's show, I think that's maybe one.
Also, if you're going to leave out some compromised confectionaries, put a note next to it.
Yes.
Can you
What?
don't be so
Put
irresponsible.
a sign. Right.
But you know what? I made it, and I have no interest in going further into the realm of drugs. So that really screws over that gateway theory.
Absolutely.
I had like 3 of those cookies.
And he turned out fine.
And Jackson was chilling. Well, that's all we have for you today on the Mass Music Morning Show. Thank you so much for listening. And please follow us on social media, on the Twitter sphere, on the Instagram sphere, everywhere. And of course, go to massmusicradio.com for the online radio station. Peace.